This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers post-game reviews here on the channel this evening. A 3-1 defeat against the Tampa Bay Lightning. But before anyone gets too snippy about things in the comments, please tell me you at least watch 5 seconds of my video before you comment. Just for my sanity, that's all I'm asking for right there. But let me just scroll on down here to this big old thing right here that I have from February 1st, alright? Let's go back to that. I'm just getting you a graphic here that I need you to watch or look at for a second, and it'll tell you a lot of why I will say what I will say tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning in a 3-1 loss. Let me get this here for you. That'll do good enough. It doesn't have to be pretty, so I'll block my face for a second. I'll come over here. You see this? Alright, let's go talk about this for a second, shall we? How about a loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning? Guys, I wrote this on February 1st. So realistically, yeah, you know what? We've already piled up 3 of the possible 4 losses I have. That's to my concern, yes. But you look, I had that win against Arizona, so it's not really something we can sit here and worry too much about. We got the win against Chicago, so that's a point. Realistically, down a total of, what, 1 point from where I had things predicted. So at this point, that's totally fine. So that's, if you're sitting here getting into this game review, you stay with me for the next 10 minutes as we discuss this hockey game, and you're wondering why I'm not upset, why I'm not this or that, and why I'm defending this, why I'm defending that, is it's as simple as I already had this game even before McDavid was injured for 2 to 3 weeks. I had this game written off, alright? So that's the thing. Sometimes you got to be a little bit realistic with yourself, with your team, and that kind of thing. And I know a lot of people will time to time accuse me of being very unrealistic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sit here and tell you, if you do that, for once I was realistic, and if you're going to sit here and say we should have won this game, well, now you're going to have some issues, because now if I said we should have won this game, you'd be telling me we should lose. If I said we should have lost, you're going to say, why are you cheering for them to lose? I can't win. It's a no-win situation at the end of the day being an Oilers fan, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, so you just deal with it. That said, ladies and gentlemen, the Oilers didn't do enough things right tonight to win it, but they didn't do enough to cost them a loss. You get where I'm going? It's 3-1, but it's not 3 goals against Mike Smith. It's 2 goals on 36 shots against Mike Smith in this one and an empty net goal. And I always, how do I put this? I always, in Junior B, when I was covering Junior B, I'd always make sure to tell somebody that there was an empty net goal scored, because a lot of people, right, is you lose 2 or 3, but you lose by 2 or 3. A lot of people get their senses up, oh my goodness, this team really did not deserve to win. But then when you realize, no, they scored 2 empty net goals, or they scored 1 empty net goal, suddenly you cut it from a goal game, right? Or a 2-goal game instead of a 3-goal game, and all of a sudden, right, then it sits here. And again, to my point, the way I would sum this one up, the Oilers didn't do enough things right to win, but they didn't do enough things wrong to lose. That said, the big concern coming out of tonight's hockey game is not even hockey game really related, right? Like, it didn't even happen 2 guys standing on the ice. It happened a guy on another guy's back, Zack Kassian being that guy, kicking a guy in the chest with his skate. So if you want to know what the real headline coming out of this hockey game is tonight, is the simple fact that we have a situation to deal with now with Zack Kassian having kicked somebody in live NHL action in the chest with his skate. Now, I've seen the Twitter reaction, and it just numbs my mind how much people go out of their way to try and just overplay a situation, right? Yes, Zack Kassian intently, from all video angles, kicked his skate into a player's chest. Was Zack Kassian going to kick the guy in the neck to kill him? That's what Twitter would tell you, 100%. I've seen like 5 Twitter accounts already that are telling people that Zack Kassian tried to murder a man with his skate. That simply, I'm sorry. If that's the case, you need to charge Zack Kassian with something criminally, not just suspend him. And I don't see that happening, or the refs would have done something about it. The NHL would have removed him from the game. So calm down, stop being ludicrous for a minute, and just realize that, no, This is still going to be a supplementary discipline thing. You can't kick players with your skates. Straight up, you can't do it. And I've actually already seen this Zack Kassian thing referred to the Chris Simon incidents from back in the day. I'm sorry, Zack Kassian, under my impression of what I remember of Zack Kassian's career, does not have a history of kicking people or cutting people with his skates intentionally. So let's not be bringing up that name, all right, ladies and gentlemen? That said, let's get to the scoring summary for this one out of our Edmonton Oilers this evening, as it's really only one goal, but there are 3 for Tampa Bay that you need to know about, and the reason this one started the way it did, the reason probably this one went the way it did, the good old ex-Edmonton Oilers curse. Guys, who's playing in Tampa Bay? I'm sorry, somebody tell me who's playing in Tampa Bay this season. Cup champion with the hometown St. Louis Blues. Oh yes, Patrick Maroon. His 7th goal of the season to open the scoring against the Edmonton Oilers tonight. I mean, if you're looking at the Tampa Bay Lightning roster tonight and you said, oh, no Kucherov, no Stamkos, who should have been picked number 1 to score the first opening goal for Tampa against the Oilers? Absolutely dang right, it should have been Patrick Maroon. That said, Cameron Gaunce, Luke Schenn get their first assists each of the season on what's described as a weird one. A lot of people made a big stink about it should have been goalie interference. I'm sorry. Colby Cave pushes Patrick Maroon into the crease. You've got kind of a triangle forming like this against Patrick Maroon. Patrick Maroon's in the middle, Colby Cave's to the right of Mike Smith, and Mike Smith standing tall in the blue paint. Where other, when you're getting driven into the paint, do you have to go other than through the crease and out of the crease as fast as possible, which is what the referees yell at you, by the way, in the NHL nowadays, and that's exactly what Patrick Maroon did. Did he make contact with Mike Smith? Yes, but what's a guy to do? The dude's the big rig, right? We didn't love him for no reason. He's a big guy, and you get pushed into the blue. There's not a lot of room there for a big Mike Smith and a big Patrick Maroon to just Cinderella dance around each other, so you know what? It stands, and I have no problem with that goal standing. Caleb Jones, Oilers responded. Don't kid me wrong. The Oilers got this one back. 5 minutes later, Caleb Jones from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Leon Draisaitl to play at the blue line. An absolute incredible stretch out of Leon Draisaitl to keep that play on side. Nugent-Hopkins, fantastic play. And again, like I said, they didn't do enough things right, but one thing they did right to score this goal is simply put, Caleb Jones didn't win a puck battle. He just got to a puck as quickly as it came available. And that, I know that sounds like a weird kind of situation. That's a puck battle. No, the guy wasn't battling for the puck. Caleb Jones just puck, see, shoot. And that's what you like to see out of the Oilers, right? They find the puck, shoot the puck, score a goal. And that's effectively what Caleb Jones did to get his 3rd of the NHL season. Of course, Draisaitl now up to 90 points. Woo! Let's go. Anyway, Yanni Gourde. This is the one that hurts. Short-handed. Blame Draisaitl all you want. I think Sportsnet did a very good job defending his honor right there. Is simply put, star players got to make that play, and they tend to, and sometimes you get burnt. And I mean, every hockey player gets burnt at a time, so I'm not blaming Draisaitl. Who I'm blaming is Oscar Klefbom standing 2 feet on the ice, not moving, not even striding, not even coasting. He's just standing there at the blue line watching Draisaitl go into 2 men, 2 guys in blue, full blue jerseys, and he's just standing there. Oh, I don't need to get back. He ain't turning that puck over. I don't need to worry. So, right, like, obviously, it's a 5-man unit on the power play. Everybody got to play defense and offense, and the Oilers are just getting lazy here, totally forgetting that, yeah, you have a defenseman out there, and he thinks he's a forward and a forward only on the power play. It's just disconnect to logic a little bit in my mind. Yanni Gourde, his 8th goal of the season. Now, that's all Mike Smith gave up. A fantastic effort out of Mike Smith. Cedric Paquette buries the empty netter after the Oilers had 2 glorious chances in front. Skipping along the same play, Chason fired it across. A little bit too hard. Chason really not sure what he was doing there, but Kara had a chance to stuff it. Gagne had a chance to stuff it. Neither nor got it done, and that's okay. You know what, realistically, like I said, I had this one written off as a loss. So at the end of the day, what does it cost me? Not too much at all when it comes down to things. So 37 shots on goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning this evening. Andrei Vasilevsky now up to 31-9 on the season. Mike Smith beaten in regulation for the first time since before Christmas. but not for a lack of trying. 2 goals against. That actually lowers his goals against average. I told you this one would be tight. A 2-1 game with an empty netter is as tight as it gets. Anyone thinking this is a 3-1 game, please give your head a shake. 34 saves for Mike Smith, 944 save percentage, and 59 minutes played. So a fantastic all-around effort out of Mike Smith this evening. And realistically, Andrei Vasilevsky, 23 points, better on the save percentage at 967, and he gets the job done on 29 saves on 30 shots. What else do you want? Realistically, right? Tight game against Tampa Bay. It was hard for me to get into because I knew we were losing this one. I had called it, I had said it, and realistically, it was just one of those ripe for the losing. And at the end of the day, this is the perfect game to lose. Realistically, right? You've got Florida. I say that has to be a win, right? Look at what I've got on this sheet here. I've got win against Florida and Carolina. These are 2 p.m. Mountain starts. You have to win against Florida due to what happened last time out. I think Koskinen starts that one, and you give Mike Smith the back half of the back-to-back. Guys, I don't know. You know what? That's it. That's all I've got to say. I'm gonna set it there. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I will catch you in the next one.